you watched any Barcelona game this year where Pau Kubarsi was playing, you probably see that the club has finally found a young player who would solve all their defensive problems for years to come. And if you watched the Napoli game and the long ball he gave to Fermín, you will be sure that he doesn't just bring leadership and decisiveness to defense, but he's also a ball player. This means that when he recovers the ball, he doesn't just get rid of it like many central defenders do, especially for his young age, but he's so confident and immediately starts the attack. Which is not surprising given that he comes from La Masia, which has never failed to give us the best talent and produce the best players in their positions. To the point that Pep Guardiola's Barca, which is for many the best team in history, the majority of its players came from La Masia, and we had 3 Ballon d'Or nominees for the Academy at the same time. And that's what the club is trying to replicate, because Laporta always says that his dream is to be able to play with 11 homegrown players one day. And that's exactly what they are doing right now, because we can see that large part of the starting 11 comes from La Masia, but if you notice, the majority of them who have shown great signs usually play in midfield or attack, and they don't produce good central defenders. Yes, Eric Garcia and Oscar Mingueza and many others gave Barca fans a lot of hope in the beginning, but they ended up being loaned out or sold. Many people think that Araujo was made at La Masia, but that's not the case. He arrived at Barca at the age of 19, but of course he developed a lot at Barcelona B and under Xavi, which made him one of the most important pieces of the team's defense. And with the arrival of Pau Cubarsí, he will form a great pair that will solve all Barca's problems. You may say what you are talking about. Well, the short answer is that FC Barcelona perform very well when the defensive line is fit, and suffer when it's injured. For example, last year, one of the main reasons they won La Liga was because all the defenders and Ter Stegen had a great season. If you look at their results, they had 26 clean sheets and only conceded 18 goals. It's unbelievable. Whereas this year, even the attack and a lot of players have improved, they are suffering, and that's because the backline is always injured. I mean, even they score a lot, they concede a lot. For example, against Villarreal, they scored 3 goals, but they conceded 5, and the same against Girona, Granada, etc. Last year, do you know how many times they conceded more than 1 goal in a game in La Liga? Only once, against Espanyol. So the problem is certainly in the defense. But as we know, every bad thing that happens has a good side. I mean, FC Barcelona's crisis was the reason they turned to La Masia players and give them opportunities. So we know Gavi, Balde, Yamal, etc. The same thing happened when the central defenders got injured. We have Pau Cubarsí, who is only 17. After he arrived, the defensive line improved a lot, because even though he's young, he acts like a leader and he's so quick in taking decisions. And since he's 1.84 meters and maybe even more in the next few years, he's so good on aerial balls. And a lot of people see him as the next Piqué, who served FC Barcelona for 15 years alongside Carles Puyol, which made Araujo say that he's the future of the club and that he hopes he will continue to play like that for many years to come. And he probably will, because the boy was born in Catalonia and exactly in Girona, which is why he started playing in the Girona Academy. And in 2018 he moved to La Masia, and there he started playing and developing. And at 15 he started a match at the UEFA Youth League, becoming the 3rd youngest Barca player to do so. And in April last year, Xavi called him up to start training with the first team. And it was then he showed his quality and the media began to praise him. That's why this summer he signed his first professional contract until 2026 and was included in Barcelona's pre-season squad. And as you saw, he made his first team appearance in January when he came on against Salamanca in the Copa del Rey. And the very next game he was a starter against Real Betis in La Liga. And it was the day before his 17th birthday. After the game he said, "I was very nervous at first, but as I gained confidence, I started to go with the flow and be myself." And that's normal for his age. But what's not normal is that he played an extraordinary game against Napoli, especially in the second leg, like he's been playing for many years. And was of course the man of the match, which made Sergio Roberto say that he's a player who should stay at Barcelona for the rest of his life. That's why he was called up to the national team and became the youngest defender to make his debut for the Spanish national team in a friendly against Colombia, beating the record previously held by by Sergio Ramos. So even though he has played only 13 games for Barcelona up to the making of this video, and we need more years to judge him, he has shown great signs that he will be something in the future. And with Araujo by his side, it will be difficult to pass them. But they have a problem, which is that in his contract has a buyout clause set at just 10 million euros. And with his quality, even he says he's not going anywhere. You never know, he may change his mind if he receives a crazy salary offer. Especially as we're sure Barca have salary problems, which means he doesn't earn much. So they need to renew his contract or simply change the existing clause. Also, we hope they don't use him too much, as they did with Pedri, who is often injured now. Especially with the Euro and the Olympics coming up. They need to protect him, because he's one of the players who can serve the club for years to come.